You know what the unfortunate irony of life is? Some of us are struggling to impress people who would rather switch places with us. And the reason we struggle to impress them is because they continuously poke holes at everything that we do. They're continuously judging us, and they're continually arguing with us and battling with us and trying to belittle us and belittle our efforts and everything about us. And we respond by trying to impress them more. And yet, the very reason they're doing that is because they see that you're high up there and they're trying to pull you down to make you believe that you're not really all that. I just had an encounter that made me decide to make this video for you. Guess what? Last weekend, if you remember, I made this video where I said that there was a lady who was trying to show me that I couldn't be all that. And that's because she wanted to prove to me that I wasn't better than her because of something that happened. And then today, a friend of mine showed me something, and the caption was, they want to pull you down because they see how confident you are and they want to show you that you're not all that. And I laughed and I was like, just last weekend I made a video where I used something very similar to this. And then guess what? Remember that I had also made a video for you last week as well. This one here, where I had talked about somebody who made me feel wretched to the point where I was miserable, and I felt so miserable that I had developed the work of the timid because I felt like I was worthless. But guess what? The person who did that to me, we had always wondered why this person did that. And I just found out today as well. Somebody that I grew up with talked about how when we were young, they always looked at me and felt a little bit envious about certain things about me. That's because of the way my mom had positioned me and the way that she had prepared me for life and put me out in the world. And so when this person said this thing to me, it just clicked. So this person was trying to belittle me because they felt already that I must be feeling so on top of the world. And yet I wasn't even feeling that. So that's why some of us struggle to impress people who are poking holes at us without realizing that they're seeing us higher than we even think of ourselves. So there's something about you. Sometimes you know it. You know the funny thing? I know sometimes when people are doing this to me now, today, in this day and age, I know it. But I never actually think of myself in the way that is making them respond to me that way. But the funny thing is, it's after they have started treating me that way, it's their treatment of me that makes me recognize that, oh, they are seeing me this way. So the thing is, as I walk around, I don't carry in my mind that I am this. But the moment someone starts trying to treat me like they're trying to bring me down, that's when I recognize that I am actually high there. So think about what you're doing. Even you must have noticed it. Even you must have noticed that yourself. You must have noticed people reacting to you in that way. So be more conscious. See it as a compliment. A negative one, albeit, but from now on, you don't struggle to impress them. And sometimes it's because you are just with people who are of lower quality or of lower standard than you are. So learn to not be comfortable with people who are, especially people who are operating from a lower standard than you are. But don't be carried away, because some people who are high up there also do not even see themselves that way, because there's something that you're carrying, and sometimes they look at you and they feel that you are what you're not even seeing yourself as. And then, not realizing that you are admiring them, they are struggling to pull you down while you are struggling to impress them. Let this be a mental note for you, a reminder for you today. And after you come to realize this, you begin to feel a little bit of relief, because now things begin to make sense. But then after that comes the feeling of heartbreak. You feel like, I wish they hadn't broken my heart. How could they break my heart like this? Because I cared so much about them, and they were being an enemy to me while I was right there, being an angel to them. But don't be heartbroken. Okay, well, I guess I can't tell you not to be heartbroken. Here is a balm for your heartbreak. Recognize that they're not doing this thing to you deliberately. It's just the person that you happen to run into. You ran into a person who already was like that. They felt small by themselves. It's nothing to do with you. They would have felt small with anybody else who shined who shine bright like you. They would have felt small with anybody else because they just feel small by themselves. They would have felt small with anybody else that they didn't think that they could outshine. That's just what it is. So don't take it personal. And I hope that that somehow helps your heartbeat. Do you understand what I'm saying? Don't feel bad that you were being positive, all positive to them, when all the time this was the way that they were seeing you. They just feel small. They need to work on that. Actually, you can feel a little bit of pity for them because they need to work on whatever it is that has put them in the mind frame that they are not all that. They are the one who need to work on themselves. And until they work on themselves, they will never be happy with anyone. Because even if they go to be with people who they perceive to be lower than them, they still cannot be happy because they're not happy at that level. So they want to be at a certain level and they just need to work themselves up to it. That's all there is to it. Make sense?